Blessings, family. I hope you guys are all well. So, for this talk, I want to speak about grief, right? Especially because I'm coming out of grief. So, I've recently been experiencing grief in my life. And I recently lost my grandfather. And what I've learned was that grief opens up more doors to grief, right? And what I mean by that is so I play guitar, right? And during the past weeks and months, my grandfather was like, I want to teach you the guitar, I want to teach you the guitar. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come one day. And then I never really went. So when he passed away, I was like, damn, I should have just went to go learn this guitar with him, right? So it opened up more doors for grief to me. Like it even opened up doors to grief, in fact, in ways such as why I didn't call him as much as I was supposed to, why I didn't visit him as much as I was supposed to, just opening up more doors to grief for feeling like I wasn't the good grandson, or I wasn't a present grandson, or whatever grandson that I had in my head. So grief really opened up those doors to more grief in my life. And that's what I've learned, is that when you're grieving somebody's death, you'll grieve so many other things that you didn't do while they were alive. So I have to heal from that. And I won't lie, I think I'm going through it. I think I've went through it, and I'm finding peace with the relationship. And another thing that I've learned is that you have to have peace. You have to make peace with the fact that the relationship that you guys had was perfect for the time. So for me, I'm just like, you know what? The relationship I had with my grandfather was perfect for the time, right? So it couldn't get any more perfect, or it couldn't get any more worse. It was perfect for the time. Like the fact that I couldn't go and learn guitar with him was because I was genuinely busy. Like I couldn't make any more time than the time that I already had, right? Or not even time. And I'm learning that we can make time, but sometimes it's just that we don't have the space for certain things in our life. So I'm learning to replace the fact that I have to say that I don't have time for something to saying that I don't have space for something in my life, right? Because that's generally it. Saying you don't have time for something is literally going to make you feel guilty. But if you say you don't have space for something, it makes it 10 times easier to deal with. And another thing that I've learned is, especially through the grief, right, is, what did I want to say now? Is you can learn about somebody even after they've passed away, right? So, for an example, I'm learning about my grandfather even after his death. So, as much as I could have learned so much from him while he was alive, I'm learning so much about him even after his death, right? I'm learning the fact that because when I never really lived with my grandfather, so when my mother tells me more stories about my grandfather, I'm like, so this is how he was. This is who he is. So you don't need to learn somebody while they're alive. You can also learn about them even after they've died. Like for an example, I found out that my grandfather would wake up and buy the newspaper. Like that was his thing. Like he had a ritual where he'd wake up, buy the newspaper, read the newspaper while eating breakfast. And that was his thing. Sometimes they didn't have money for bread, like a full loaf of bread, and then they'd buy a half a loaf of bread just so that the other monies can go to reading the newspaper. If you guys grew up with grandparents or parents like that, apparently that was him. So I'm learning so much about him even after he's passed away. And I'm also learning about him in a way where apparently he was a strict person, and I didn't know that. For me, he was very, very chilled. Like he was the most chilled guy. Like I have so many chilled memories with him, but other people know him as a strict person. So I'm just like, oh, I can learn about this guy even after he's died. So what I'm learning for myself is that grief opens up more doors to more grief. And the fact that grief or learning somebody doesn't end with death. You can learn about somebody even after death, right? So that's generally the message, family. I hope you guys, or whoever's going through grief, find some healing in this, right? Because this is something that I've been dealing with, and this is the wisdom that I've got in my journey with dealing with grief, right? So I hope you guys find some comfort in this message, right? I hope you guys find some healing in this message, and I hope you guys are having a great day, a great week. And yeah, like always, the works. Please like, follow, send this to a friend that's going through grief, or just comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you deal with grief, and let's heal, brothers. Let's heal, brothers. I hope you guys are having a great day, great evening, whatever time you're watching this message, and I'll speak to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.